Okay, so let's set the scene. It's New York City, December 2013. We're at the premiere of The Wolf of Wall Street. You know the movie, right? It's all about insane excess, greed, some criminal who scams millions to live this wild lifestyle. It's pure Hollywood. But the real story, the one that honestly makes the movie look kind of tame, it's not up on the screen. No, it's happening right there, with someone sitting in the audience. So, up on stage, Leonardo DiCaprio grabs the mic. He's doing the usual thank yous, his director, the studio, but then he gives this really surprising shout out to a guy named Jho Low. And pretty much everyone in the room is like, who? He's a total unknown. The camera pans over, and we see this kind of chubby, baby-faced guy in a tux, smiling all shyly. I mean, he looks completely harmless. And this, right here, is the punchline that nobody in that theater saw coming. The movie they're all watching, this masterpiece about financial crime, was literally paid for by an active financial crime. Yeah, that shy guy, Jho Low, he wasn't just bankrolling the film. He was living a real-life version of it that was even crazier, all financed by a staggering $4.5 billion heist, stolen from the people of Malaysia. So you gotta be asking, right? Who on earth is J. Lo? And maybe more importantly, how in the world did he pull off one of the most insane heists in history, like right under the nose of the entire global financial system? See, Jho Low, he didn't really fit the stereotype of a criminal mastermind. He wasn't some shadowy hacker in a basement or a tough guy gangster. His superpower was all about perception. In the super high-stakes worlds of Las Vegas and New York, they had a name for him, the Whale. Why? Because he was the guy who outspent absolutely everyone. And just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about here, get this. One night, in a club in Saint-Tropez, he gets into what they called a champagne war with another billionaire. So within minutes, Jho Low orders 2 million euros worth of crystal champagne, and he has the bottles brought out in coffins, while the theme from Rocky is blasting. This wasn't just spending money, it was pure theater, it was a performance. But see, that whole performance, it had a point. Jho Low totally understood this basic truth about the world of the super rich. If you spend enough money and you're seen with enough famous people, nobody asks where the money came from. Seriously, they just assume you belong there. So what did he do? He surrounded himself with A-listers. He was out partying with Paris Hilton, Jamie Foxx, Alicia Keys. He gave supermodel Miranda Kerr millions of dollars in jewelry. And for Leonardo DiCaprio's birthday, how about this? He gifted him Marlon Brando's actual Oscar statue. We're talking a $600,000 gift. And you can just imagine the big global banks looking at this and thinking, well, hey, if Leo trusts this guy, why shouldn't we? But here's the thing. This whole persona was completely fake. A total fabrication. Jho Low was not born into this kind of money. His real talent, the thing that unlocked this whole crazy scheme, was networking. And it all started back at the super elite Harrow School in London. That's where he became friends with a very, very important classmate, the stepson of the man who would become Malaysia's prime minister, Najib Razak. And that friendship, well, that was the key to the vault. So that connection, it was basically the launch pad for the entire heist. As soon as his friend's stepdad becomes prime minister, Jho Low comes in with this idea that sounds, brilliant on paper. He pitches a patriotic investment fund called 1MDB. The plan? The fund would borrow billions of dollars to invest in stuff like Malaysian infrastructure. The only catch? Jho Low had zero official role. None. He was a ghost in the system, secretly pulling every single string. Okay, but to steal billions of dollars, you can't do it alone. You need some powerful accomplices. And Jho Low found pretty much the ultimate partner, Goldman Sachs. The bank's job was simple: raise billions for 1MDB by selling bonds. Now, a normal fee for a deal like this, maybe $1 million. Goldman Sachs charged, wait for it, $600 million. That fee was so outrageously, astronomically high, it should have set off every single alarm bell on Wall Street. But it didn't. So how did he actually get the money out? Well, it was a total masterclass in misdirection. It's kind of like a 5-step plan. Step 1, Goldman raises the cash. Step 2, Jho Low, our puppet master, tells the fund exactly where to send it. Step 3, that money gets wired to these shady offshore shell companies. Step 4, it's laundered through this crazy maze of Swiss bank accounts. And finally, Step 5, the clean cash lands right in his personal accounts, all ready for one heck of a shopping spree. And, the real genius of the scheme was how simple it was. He set up these shell companies with names that were almost identical to real legit investment firms. Like, for instance, billions of dollars were sent to a company called Aubar Investments PJS Limited. Well, the real legitimate fund was just called Aubar Investments PJS. The only difference was that one little word, limited. And of course, a different bank account in Switzerland. It was just a simple but devastatingly effective magic trick. So, what did he buy with all that stolen cash? Oh man, the shopping list is it's insane. A $35 million pet house in New York City, a $9 million painting by Basquiat, and the crown jewel of his collection, a $250 million super yacht called the Equanimity. This thing had a spa, a movie theater, a helipad, the works. And all of it was paid for with money that was supposed to be building hospitals and schools back in Malaysia. And for 5 years, 5 solid years, it really seemed like the perfect crime. I mean, the prime minister was in on it, the bankers all got their massive bonuses, the celebrities were having a great time at the parties. But then, Jho Low made one tiny but absolutely critical mistake. It's the kind of thing that brings down empires. He forgot about the email servers. And after that, the whole house of cards just collapsed, and with stunning speed. It all kicked off in 2015, when a whistleblower leaked something like 227,000 emails to a journalist. And from there, the dominoes just started falling, one after another. The U.S. Department of Justice launched the largest asset seizure in American history. That led to the shocking arrest of Malaysia's prime minister. And finally, even Goldman Sachs was forced to pay billions in fines for their part in the whole thing. And the DOJ, they didn't just want the money back. No, they wanted his toys. They seized the yacht, the mansions in Beverly Hills in New York, all the priceless art. Miranda Kerr had to hand over millions in diamond jewelry. And yep, Leonardo DiCaprio had to return Marlon Brando's Oscar. Can you just imagine that phone call? Hey, Leo, it's the FBI. Yeah, about that birthday present. Even the rights to The Wolf of Wall Street, the movie itself, were seized by the U.S. government. Unbelievable. So, the prime minister, he went to prison. The bankers, they got arrested. The celebrities, they were seriously embarrassed. Justice, it seemed, was finally being served. But what about the guy at the very center of it all? What about the whale? Well, as his entire empire came crumbling down around him, Jho Low just vanished. Today, Jho Low is one of the FBI's most wanted fugitives. The trail pretty much went cold in Macau. Now, intelligence agencies widely believe he's hiding out in plain sight, probably somewhere in China, living under state protection. Some people even say he's had plastic surgery to change his appearance. So, all of this leaves us with a really unsettling question. What is the penalty for pulling off the heist of the century? I mean, a crime this massive, it didn't just steal money. It basically stress-tested the entire global financial system and proved just how broken it was. Well, for Jho Low, the answer seems to be something like this. You get to live a life that most of us can't even dream of. You get to party with movie stars, you produce Oscar-winning films, you buy priceless works of art. And then, when the party's finally over, you just vanish into thin air. And that really is the final chilling takeaway here. After this whole scheme exposed massive, deep flaws in our global financial system, after a worldwide investigation brought down an entire government, the mastermind behind it all is still a free man. Jho Low is still at large. He's just a ghost in the very machine he learned to manipulate so perfectly.